There's been enormous progress for multiple myeloma patients over the past 25 years. However, there still remain challenges on our pathway to a cure, and we are addressing these challenges with our current research programs. Thank you so much for your contributions to date, because we couldn't do this without you. So I'll mention some of the research programs that you are making happen. And the one I'm most excited about right now is called the MAC Grant Program. That stands for Myeloma Accelerator Challenge. And the two challenges that we're taking on right now are, first, high-risk, newly diagnosed multiple myeloma, and second, smoldering multiple myeloma. So with the newly diagnosed cases, about 70% of patients are standard risk, and they do well with a lot of our traditional therapies. However, about 30% of patients are considered high risk, and they often relapse more quickly and use up their options more rapidly. And so we don't know what makes these tumors tick. And we think that understanding that will be critical for these patients and for the myeloma population as a whole. In smoldering, this is actually a diagnosis that consists of a mix of patients. Some of those patients rapidly transition into active symptomatic myeloma, while others do not. And it's critical for us to be able to separate and identify the low-risk patients who probably should just be kept under constant, careful surveillance from the high-risk patients who may be treated as if they have active myeloma. So how are we taking on those challenges? Well, with your help, we are going to invest more than $20 million into these two topics. And let me tell you how we've done that so far with this MAC program. Over the past months, we've now selected 3 different networks that we will fund in the coming 3 years. The first includes 7 major medical centers across the US who will study high-risk, newly diagnosed myeloma. These are the top centers. You would know almost all of them. The second group is a group of 5 major medical centers in Europe, which really helps complement and provide additional insight and potentially samples to characterize high-risk multiple myeloma. The third network we will support is a group of 6 centers in the United States to study smoldering myeloma. This special diagnosis often leads these patients to go in the US to some of the key centers and to have their care managed there. And that is the makeup of this group. So why us? Why the MMRF at this point in time to take on these specific challenges? First, we have a long history of collaboration, of bringing others together to work on key problems. It's also important to remember that with subtypes of a certain rare cancer, it's actually challenging for a single center to do this research on their own. So we can bring together centers, pool resources, and scale the solution. We can generate uniform data that will then share for others to study. And finally, it's important to remember our clinical focus. We expect these teams to bring back hypotheses that are clinically testable. There will be many interesting findings and research reports that are published, but we want to implement the clinical ideas to test these in our clinical trial. Thank you again for your partnership in this research. With your continued support, these efforts will make a difference in the lives of each and every myeloma patient. I look forward to sharing with you what this program accomplishes.